Important quotes today also coming from Arsenal pre-season tour, because William Saliba confirms hopefully soon, he said when asked about new contract at Arsenal, when are you gonna sign a new deal? And William said hopefully soon. Well guys, I can tell you that Arsenal and their director Andrea Berta are working hard on this one. Arsenal are prepared to accelerate talks with William Saliba. They've already started negotiations with his agents. Obviously there was previously another director. Now Andrea Berta came, and since he came in, of course, extending Ethan Nwaneri is going to be official soon. Miles Lewis Kelly already official, working on several extensions, on several situations. For the situation of Saliba, contacts have started already before the summer transfer window. But now they continue. Arsenal are offering a new deal. Arsenal made an important proposal to Saliba. Arsenal are showing the ambition of their project. They hope to reach an agreement as soon as possible, also because they know about interest from Real Madrid. Real Madrid loves Saliba. It's not for this summer, as I always told you, forget about that. But Real Madrid in the future would love to attack William Saliba. He's a player they have on top of their list. I told you several times, they consider him the Bellingham of the defenders. But Arsenal are doing an important market, are showing their ambition, have offered a new deal to Saliba, and to see the player saying hopefully soon, God is great, is a very good message for Arsenal fans on the new contract.
Arsenal strike full agreement on personal terms with gifted £68 million star. Arsenal have now struck a full agreement on personal terms with a gifted forward who is keen on a move to the Emirates Stadium, according to a report. Berta enjoying impressive first transfer window. In his first transfer window since taking over as sporting director, it would be fair to say that Andrea Berta has done a stellar job, having been given the license to splash the cash by the board. Berta has strengthened the squad in a number of key areas, perhaps most importantly sealing a deal for a new striker, having gotten a deal for Victor Gyökeres over the line last week. In a promising new update, Mikel Arteta also seemed to indicate that William Saliba is likely to be willing to sign a new contract, saying, "Obviously, it's our negotiations and things that have to take time and process, and we have to be on top of them. But I'm quite confident that William is very happy here, and that's the place that he wants to be." As such, things are certainly looking up for the Gunners, and they have now made progress in their pursuit of yet another new signing. That is according to Sports Zone, who recently took to X to state that Arsenal have now struck a full agreement on personal terms with Crystal Palace star Ibaraki Eze. Eze has been keen on a move to the Emirates Stadium for a few weeks, and the North Londoners are now considering triggering the £68 million release clause in his contract with the Eagles. However, they could test the waters with a bid of a different nature first, with it recently being revealed they have now reached an agreement in principle with the forward's current employers. Gifted, Eze could be final piece of the jigsaw. As previously highlighted, Arteta's side have already had a fantastic summer transfer window, and the Crystal Palace star could be the final piece of the jigsaw, having impressed in the Premier League for quite some time. Once lauded as a gifted player by Statman Dave, the Palace star enjoyed a very impressive 2024-25 campaign, picking up 14 goals and 11 assists in all competitions, and his versatility could also be of great use to Arteta. It would be fair to say Martin Odegaard didn't enjoy the best of campaigns last season, scoring just 3 Premier League goals, and the England international would be able to fill in at attacking midfield when required, while he is also capable of playing on the wing. Eze could be an exciting signing for Arsenal, and having struck an agreement on personal terms, they should look to get a deal over the line as quickly as possible, before any rival suitors intensify their interest. Arsenal star with loads to offer would be acceptable sacrifice to bring in Ibaraki Eze. Arsenal attacker Leandro Trossard could be sold in order to bring in Crystal Palace star Ibaraki Eze this summer, according to Charles Watts. The Gunners have already made 6 new signings this summer, with Kepa Arrizabalaga, Martin Zubimendi, Christian Norgard, Noni Madueke, Christian Mosquera and Victor Gyökeres all joining. But Arsenal are unlikely to be done there in terms of incomings, with Crystal Palace attacker Eze one of the players linked to a move before the deadline in just over a month's time. Arsenal will have to move some players on from their bloated squad, and journalist Watts, who has been covering the Gunners for years, reckons Trossard could be an acceptable sacrifice if they can bring in Eze. Watts told Sports Mole, "I think there's space in the squad for it, especially in Ibaraki Eze, because I just think he's just different to Ethan. I don't see Eze blocking Ethan's pathway. I see both players playing on different sides of the pitches, so there is absolutely a need for it. I look at that left 8 position especially. It's not that creative, the options they've got there. Declan Rice, brilliant player. Not the most creative player, turning more and more into a box-crashing midfielder, which is great, scoring lots of goals. But creativity-wise, aside from set pieces, not brilliant. Same goes for Mikel Merino. But a real mercurial playmaker-type player to have is an option in that position. Arsenal just don't have that. So they can't really change games, or there's not really any sort of unpredictability there. It might take a sale, it might be that Leandro Trossard has to go to for that to happen, which as much as I don't really want Trossard to go, if it's a case of Trossard has to go for East to come in, then that's an acceptable sacrifice. Watts added, I wouldn't let him go unless it was absolutely guaranteed that someone else was coming in. He's been a brilliant signing, the availability is so good with him, as he showed last season when everyone else around him was dropping like flies. Leo was the one constant. I wouldn't want to force him out the door at all. I still think he's got loads to offer. He's versatile, he scores goals, he sets goals up. But if it meant you could get ease, I think it's an acceptable sacrifice, especially with Madueke coming in, who is going to be considered quite a lot as a left-sided option. You've then got ease if he comes in, Martinelli, Madueke. You've got left-sided options there, even if Trossard goes. I wouldn't be celebrating it by any means, because I think Arsenal would be losing a very, very good player. But I think what it would do to the squad, how it would change things, it would be an acceptable departure. Real Madrid, offer, £79 million plus 2 players for Arsenal. Jewel is Fabrizio Romano drops update. Fabrizio Romano has dropped a, hopefully soon, update on William Saliba's contract extension at Arsenal, amid speculation in Spain that Real Madrid were planning to offer the Gunners a package worth €90 million plus the offer of 2 Los Blancos stars in part exchange. Saliba is now established as one of the most coveted central defenders in world football, having a major influence on Arsenal's growth into serious Premier League title contenders under Mikel Arteta in recent seasons. Now about to embark as his 4th season as a Gunners regular, the 24-year-old has racked up 134 appearances, chipping in with 7 goals along the way. However, with his current 2 expiring in summer 2027, interest in acquiring Saliba's services has never been far from the news. To that end, Real Madrid are confirmed admirers of the 28 times capped France international, having been persistently linked with his signing over the last 2 seasons. Now, with Xabi Alonso desperate to strengthen his defense and having drawn a blank in his quest to convince Liverpool to sell Ibrahima Konate, fresh speculation claims Real Madrid are readying a dizzying offer for the Gunners' Jewel that even Arteta might find difficult to refuse. According to Fichajes, they claim the Spanish giants have submitted a bombshell offer for Saliba, comprising of €90 million, £79 million, $106 million cash, plus 2 key players who could be key to closing the deal. Per the report, Arsenal have been offered both playmaker Arda Güler on a season's loan and highly rated defender Raúl Asensio on a permanent deal, with the latter offered up as a potential replacement for the Frenchman in the Gunners' rearguard. Despite that, Romano insists Arsenal's first priority remains on tying Saliba down to a new deal. William Saliba confirms, hopefully soon. When asked about a new contract at Arsenal, Romano began on his YouTube channel. Well, I can confirm that Arsenal's sporting director is working hard on this deal. Arsenal are prepared to accelerate talks with William Saliba, they've already started negotiations with his agents. Since Berta arrived, he has been working on extending Ethan Nwaneri, which will be official soon. Miles Lewis-Skelly is already official. For Saliba, contacts had already started before the summer transfer window, but now they continue. Arsenal are offering a new deal and have made an important proposal to Saliba. Real Madrid interest in William Saliba confirmed as Star makes statement. Confirming Saliba is a player of genuine interest to Real Madrid, Romano continued. Arsenal hope to reach an agreement as soon as possible because they know of interest from Real Madrid. Madrid loves Saliba. Madrid would love to attack for Saliba. He is a player they have on top of their list, but Arsenal are showing their ambition. However, it seems Arsenal have absolutely no reason to fear the potential departure of their star defender. He appears extremely settled at Emirates Stadium and in no position to seek an exit ahead of a World Cup year. To that end, his focus is firmly set on both a strong season with Arsenal and on securing his place in Didier Deschamps' squad that will head to the USA, Canada and Mexico next summer. Asked again over the weekend if he would be extending his stay in North London, Saliba dropped a simple 5-word update to reporters, stating, "Hopefully soon. God is great." With Saliba set to stay, Arsenal expert Charles Watts feels Arteta's squad is suddenly looking very bloated, and named 4 players who could move on. Watts wrote in his Caught Offside column recently, "With all the new arrivals, the squad is suddenly looking very bloated and Andrea Berta will be looking to find takers for players like Reece Nelson, Sambi Lokonga, Fabio Vieira and maybe Alexander Zinchenko." Arsenal transfer latest. Clubs gather for Gabriel Jesus, Gyökeres criticized. Meanwhile, there is increasing speculation surrounding Gabriel Jesus after Arsenal signed Victor Gyökeres to replace the Brazilian, with a report claiming Barcelona and Newcastle United are both in the frame, and a contentious move has also been mentioned as a possibility. It emerged on Saturday that Flamengo have opened talks with Jesus camp, with reports in the Brazilian press claiming the star is open to such a move. That came after claims Arsenal had put their second top earner up for sale in a brutal move by Berta. On the subject of Gyökeres, the new Gunners, number 14 has been blasted for showing a lack of professionalism when forcing through his transfer to Arsenal. Real Madrid set sights on 15-year-old Arsenal wonderkid. Report Real Madrid are always on the lookout for exciting young talents across the globe to bring them to the club. Franco Mastantuono has been the latest such addition to the club, with Real Madrid roping him in this summer from River Plate. Max Daumann on Real Madrid's radar. Now, according to Fichajes, the latest name to catch the eye of Real Madrid's sporting department is Max Daumann, a highly promising attacking midfielder from Arsenal's academy. At just 15 years old, the young Englishman is making a strong impression in the youth ranks of the London club, standing out for his technique, vision, and maturity on the pitch. Daumann has made 25 appearances for Arsenal's under-18 side, scoring 20 and assisting 10 goals in the process. Max Daumann in action for Arsenal against Newcastle. The teenager, who can also play on the right flank or in central midfield, impressed in the Gunners' recent preseason match against Newcastle United. Daumann's versatility in midfield and intelligent play have not gone unnoticed by Real Madrid scouts, who have been closely monitoring his development for several months. He fits the profile of player that aligns perfectly with Real Madrid's long-term recruitment strategy. At Valdebebas, there is an awareness that competition for the youngster will intensify if he continues to develop as expected. For this reason, the club may look to get ahead of other European giants by making an early move. Arsenal, though, will be reluctant to let go of one of their most talented young prospects, much like they are with William Saliba, another target for Real Madrid. Crystal Palace identify Iberechi's replacement amid Arsenal interest. The 2025 summer transfer window has seen some memorable deals completed, with Arsenal signing Victor Gyökeres and Liverpool signing Hugo Ekitike. More intriguing deals will be expected to go through. Arsenal have been linked with Crystal Palace star Iberechi, and according to Sasha Tavaliri, Palace have identified Leicester City and Morocco international midfielder Bilal El Khanous as his replacement. Crystal Palace prepare for potential Iberechi's exit. Bilal El Khanousi lined up as E's successor. Arsenal have been active in preparation for 2025-26, signing Martin Zubimendi, Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke, Christian Mosquera, Christian Norgard and Kepa Arrizabalaga. The Gunners have been linked with E's for some time, and it appears they have received a boost with Crystal Palace identifying the replacement. Bilal El Khanous of Leicester has been added to the Palace shortlist of replacements for E's. The Moroccan is also reportedly on the RB Leipzig shortlist to replace Xavi Simons, who appears destined to join Chelsea. Iberechi's to Arsenal. Numerous outlets, including The Independent, have reported that Arsenal are looking to sign E's, who views the club as his top choice destination. Those close to the player are confident a deal will be done in the coming weeks. With the links involving E's to Arsenal remaining strong, it's sensible that Palace are exploring alternatives, and they clearly see El Khanous as one of them. Other factors and players could affect the deal, with Arsenal hoping to sign E's by splitting the fee into 3 installments of £20 million each. Liverpool maximise sale is full market value, reached in deal agreement with suitors. Reece Nelson could be included in the deal, but he has been linked with a move to Fulham, which may affect the finer details of any potential agreement for ease.